Universally, there's two ways you can make it onto a collegiate football team, either by being a walk-on athlete or a scholarship athlete. I wasn't a walk-on athlete or a scholarship athlete. I rolled onto the team, so don't let the wheelchair fool you. Rolling onto the team is not how I thought I'd be playing college football. When I was a senior in high school, I was a top-ranked recruit athlete with the opportunity to play anywhere in the country. I had been in love with the game of football since I was 5 years old. I didn't grow up with a father at home, so football is where I learned discipline, hard work, and what it took to be a man. At 17 years old, I had one mission in life: to earn an education, make it to the NFL, and do something great for myself and for my family. My senior year in high school, we had the best season we ever had. We were headed to the playoffs. I'll never forget running off the field and jumping into my coach's arms and hearing him say, "Tim, you're going to college. Look at all these people here to see you." That night, my teammates and I partied and celebrated all night because we made history. The next morning, we woke up early to attend the Magic City Classic, a huge football event that takes place in Birmingham, Alabama every year. On the way to the Classic, I fell asleep in the back seat. I woke up, my friend was asleep behind the wheel. I yelled, wake up," and he swerved headfirst into a telephone pole. The car began rocking back and forth at the edge of the cliff, and the next thing I knew, we were going down the cliff. When the car stopped at the bottom of the cliff, I started coughing up blood, and I realized I couldn't feel my legs. My friend asked, "Is everyone okay? Everyone okay?" And I mumbled, "I can't feel my legs. I don't want to die." The car sparked into a fire, and my friend attempted to save my life, pulling me out the rear window, slipping on the oil on the grass. He dropped my neck, snapping my neck, causing me to be paralyzed instantly from the neck down. In an instant, I went from walking one day to rolling the next. I went from being the talk of the town because I was a star athlete to being the talk of the town because the doctors were saying that I would never walk or talk again. My body was so messed up that when they wanted me to communicate, they would bring a Sharpie in the room and have me bite down on the end of it just so I can write out what I was trying to communicate. I had to relearn my ABCs. I had to wear diapers and depends. I had to relearn everything. As you can imagine, this led me to being extremely depressed and suicidal. And I began to hate myself and hate everyone around me, and I pushed everyone away. The opportunity to earn an education, to make it to the NFL and do something for myself and my family was off the table, so to me there was no reason to be alive. But I can remember going to the doctor one day, asking my doctor, "Doc, what's it going to take for me to get better? I'm in a body I don't know. I don't like who I am. I don't like where I am in life. I can't do anything on my own. I can't dress myself on my own. I can't bathe myself on my own. And in fact, Doc, I've tried to take my life 3 times this week. What is it that I can do to get better?" The doctor looked at me and he said, Tim, depression will kill you quicker than this injury will if you don't get your mind right. I don't know what it was about him saying, "Get your mind right," but when I heard him say it, that changed everything. I came to understand that the number one defense mechanism that we have as human beings is our mind. We have the ability to transform anything, but we have to be transformed first by the renewing of our mind. William James, an American philosopher, said that the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their life if they alter their attitude. If your attitude is not what it should be, then you can change it. And by doing so, you will make it possible for you to be whatever it is you want to be, but you have to start first with your mind. So I began a 2-year journey of doing exactly that. The first thing I did to renew my mind was I got to know myself. I got involved in my own life, and by doing so, I began to figure out what I wanted out of life. For example, dating had become extremely difficult, couldn't get a date, so I began to date myself. Yeah. I began to date myself. I needed to let myself know that I was worth spending time with. I had to let myself know that I had value. The second thing I did to renew my mind was understand that words are powerful. Once they come out of your mouth, you can't get them back, y'all. I believe that the main function of our life is to see with our eyes the words that we've said out of our mouth. In other words, the words we speak affect the way we think. And what we think becomes what we believe. And what we believe becomes who we are. So I watched closely what I said about my life. I watched closely what I said about my health. And I began reading underdog success stories about human beings who had far greater circumstances than I did, with the belief that if they could make it through, I could too. This led me to the last thing that I did to renew my mind, and that was understand that I needed to protect my energy and enthusiasm. When I was in the hospital, my mom wouldn't even let anyone come into the room if they were being negative. Because she knew at that time in my life that negativity could kill me. So still to this day, I don't allow negative people around me. I don't allow negative people around me because negativity is contagious. It's contagious. And I remember there was a time I couldn't even display energy and enthusiasm. And I also understand that I have a lot to be thankful for. So even though I was labeled mentally challenged because I was recovering from a traumatic brain injury due to the car accident, I enrolled in college at Wallace State Community College. Yeah. And my first classes were remedial classes. The classes that you only get an S or a U in. The funny thing is I still failed those classes. But because I remained committed to being transformed by the renewing of my mind, I not only went on to graduate from Wallace State Community College, I went on to graduate from the University of Alabama in Birmingham with a master's degree. Thank you. And while at UAB, I couldn't let the dream die of playing college football. I had the most unique opportunity of being invited out to a morning practice at UAB as a student. And I heard the coach say, "Skill guys on the line." And I looked at myself and said, "I'm a skill guy." So I got out there, wheelchair and all. The coach blew the whistle, and the boys started running around the field. And I started pushing around the field. At the end of practice, my coach called me in his office, and he said, "To find a young man that has enough faith and courage as you have. To find a young man that has enough faith and courage as you have, I want you to be a part of this team. It was on that day I signed my scholarship, becoming the first paraplegic to ever receive a full ride in football, and I never touched the field. Years ago, people told me that I would never do a lot of things. But I'm here to tell y'all today that they were wrong. When you take the time to utilize your mind and believe what you know to be true concerning your life, you will dramatically change in appearance, body, and form. That's the definition of transform. So physically, if I never walk again, I'm walking again mentally through others all around this world. I'm walking again through others all around this world who have been touched by my story. The truth is, if we want to transform, we don't need it to be easy. We just need it to be possible. Thank you all so much.